Tonight, are you wondering what this school year will look like? Well, you are not alone. We'll hear from local districts on their plans. Plus, it's still July, but some people are seeing the leaves change already, and it's not a good sign. And Milwaukee is buzzing tonight as Bucks fans cheer on their team in hopes of clinching the NBA title.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. It's that time of year when kids are picking out new backpacks and supplies for school. But this time around, administrators are hoping it will look a little more normal than last year when the pandemic flipped classrooms on their heads. CBS3's Emma Quinn shares what local districts are doing to get ready for students to hit the books once again.
Duluth public school officials are preparing for students to come back to class. This year, Superintendent of Schools John Magus is focused on normalcy.
Not looking at hybrid, we're not looking at distance learning except for through our AEO online school.
On Monday, the American Association of Pediatrics announced its recommendation that all students over the age of 2 should wear masks in school this fall, whether they're vaccinated or not. Magus says Duluth schools won't require masks, but they'll encourage them.
At this point, our summer plans are what we plan for in the fall, and that's that the secondary students and staff, we strongly encourage, if you haven't been vaccinated, to wear a mask.
All students must wear masks on the school bus as required on public transportation by the federal government. Right now, COVID vaccines are only approved for kids 12 and older, which will pose a challenge as districts consider which students are vaccinated and which students are not. Magus adds one challenge this year: each local school district won't get direct guidance and mandates from the State Department of Health.
Each individual school district, it will be up to them to determine what is best for their population.
Duluth schools add they won't enforce social distancing as much this year. The Minnesota Department of Education is expected to release guidance for school districts by the end of the month. Well, many parents are experiencing sticker shock as they begin to buy back-to-school items. Industry experts say part of the reason for the price jump is when COVID shut down the country, the supply chain was also put on hold, and retailers are still trying to get back to normal.
They're having to pay for air freight versus shipping cargo in order to get things here and on time. Those costs in terms of actually transporting goods, that has been a major concern for many of the retailers we've talked to.
The National Retail Federation expects consumers to spend $37.1 billion in back-to-school supplies. That's up more than $3 billion from last year. Parents of K-12 students are expected to spend just over $848 per household on supplies. That includes electronics. Well, tonight there are more indications that a long-feared summer surge has arrived. COVID-19 infections have risen sharply in the last month, even as demand for vaccines has declined. Federal health officials are sounding the alarm about the latest coronavirus surge. This one powered by the more contagious Delta strain, which now accounts for more than 80% of new cases. The CDC said unvaccinated people remain the most at risk of becoming infected. They add less than half of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated against COVID-19, while nearly 70% of adults have received at least one dose. Moving to Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer vetoed a Republican-sponsored bill that would have stopped weekly federal supplements added to unemployed workers' benefits. Right now, unemployed Michigan workers receive an extra $300 per paycheck due to COVID-19. The extra payment is due to end on September 4th under federal law. The GOP-controlled legislature wanted the payments to stop by July 31st, saying the money discourages people from rejoining the workforce. Meanwhile, Governor Whitmer says the bill would have violated federal law by ending the payment without 30 days' notice. Wisconsin's lieutenant governor has joined the crowded Democratic field for a U.S. Senate seat. 34-year-old Mandela Barnes is vying to become the first black U.S. senator in Wisconsin's history. He's giving up a chance to run for a second term in 2022 as Governor Tony Evers' running mate. Republican Senator Ron Johnson currently holds that Senate seat. He has not said if he'll seek a third term. Besides Barnes, 5 other Democrats have already joined the race. There will be a primary next year. Governor Evers issued a statement on that decision today. He said Barnes is a good friend and he supports his decision to run for the Senate. Well, Dave's here with the first check of the weather. Dave, people still dealing with that fog and haze and bad breathing conditions out there.
Yeah, that problem popped back up last night, and it's lasting through Thursday morning for a lot of our region. Of course, for Maine weather, I'll show a map of the affected zones. But right now, let's talk about perhaps what's a more positive thing for some folks. The heat wave was broken. We came up cooler than normal. And I do understand that a lot of folks do like it on the warm side. But, of course, around here, everything's half and half. The other half likes it cool, and that's what we got today. Normal high is 78. Only made it to 69 International Falls, 75 for Hibbing, 70 in Solon Springs, and 72 in Watersmeet. Temperatures tomorrow will be a little bit warmer, but still in general a little bit cooler than normal. And tomorrow we'll have a chance for some rain. We need a lot. We may get a little. It's a 50-50 chance. Even some sprinkles may start after midnight tonight, but the better chance is tomorrow night into Thursday morning. I'll show a chart as well on how much rain could come across in a few more minutes. But first we'll show the short-term forecast. Tonight lows will fall into the 50s for a lot of our towns as the clouds continue to stay thick. And then those thicker clouds on Wednesday give us that 50% chance for showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon and during the overnight. High temp of 75, still is a few degrees cooler than normal, but warmer than normal returns perhaps as early as Friday. Could get downright toasty for the weekend. We'll show you the latest round of heat waves coming our way with the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, the big talker tonight is the Milwaukee Bucks. And our very own Alexis Bass joins us live from the Deer District for Game 6. Alexis, this has been a nail-biter for fans of both teams. How is the crowd reacting as the buzzer nears?
Yeah, in fact, there were so many people here that right to my right, they stopped letting people in right before tip-off. Kristen, I believe this place has gone from 0 to 65,000 very quickly. From a year ago, this place looked like a skeleton. There was not a soul here, and tonight, there's absolutely more than 65,000 people here, plus inside, from crowd surfing to people climbing on places to having their own dance parties. It is just absolutely electric here, a place that you absolutely want to be. Giannis and Co had a promising lead in the first quarter, leading 29-16. However, in the second half, a flip switch for the Suns, who lit it up, winning the second quarter before the bell, 31-13. Kristen, I will have more moments about Game 6 coming up. However, we do know right now that the Bucks and the Suns are in a 2-point game right now. So it is just back and forth madness here in Milwaukee.
Looking forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks, Alexis. Gooseberry Falls is normally full of rushing water this time of year, but right now the popular North Shore destination looks very different. That's thanks to the drought in the region, which has almost completely dried out the lower falls. The dry conditions are also impacting plants and other aquatic wildlife upstream. Assistant Park Manager Nick Hoffman says the falls need a nice, steady rainfall before they can return to normal.
So the upstream wetlands, as they start losing water levels, there's less water obviously feeding into those tributaries, and then less that feeds into the Gooseberry River, and obviously then less that comes over our falls.
Hoffman added Gooseberry State Park has still been seeing a steady stream of visitors, but the sooner the falls are back to normal, the better for local wildlife. It may be the middle of summer, but for some across the Northland, it is beginning to look like fall. Leaves on trees all across the region are beginning to change colors. We're seeing these early colors because during periods of extreme drought, trees are stressed for water and nutrients. And during those periods, often the color doesn't last long and the leaves will quickly fall off the trees. Without a good rain in the forecast, we will likely see the leaves continue to change. As that drought continues, another threat is on the rise: algae blooms on inland lakes. The Minnesota DNR is concerned as lake levels drop all across the state. Joy Lowry, a water monitoring supervisor with the agency, says as the water levels go down and water warms as a result, we will need to look out for more algae blooms.
You know, if the water's real stagnant and warms up, you can have algal blooms, those sorts of things that kind of make fish kills, things that, you know, make that water undesirable for people to be recreating in.
The DNR says you should always be on the lookout for signs of recent blooms, such as green scum on the shoreline. They say when in doubt, stay out. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, righting a historic wrong. There's a new push to return native burial sites on Wisconsin Point to their tribes.
Well, we're close to 2.5 inches shy of rain here for July. Only about 1/3 of an inch has come down. Tomorrow we could try to solve that deficit a little bit. There's at least a chance of rain coming our way. Not be a big one or a long one, but it's better than nothing. We'll talk about it in more detail right after this.
You're watching the CBS 3 News at 10 with Kristen Vaki, sports with Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS 3.
Gail King, Anthony Mason, and Tony DeCoppel, weekday mornings on CBS.
Find the home of your dreams with Homes by Edmunds. Whether you're buying or selling, trust Duluth's oldest real estate company, Homes by Edmunds, LLP. Sunday mornings at 10:30 on CBS 3.
The insurance company was calling me. I didn't know what to do. Schwebel, Getz & Sieben was able to take on the responsibility of all of the paperwork that was involved. All bills started getting sent to Schwebel, Getz & Sieben for them to organize the paperwork. Jim was able to take all that legal nightmare so I could focus on just getting better.
Injured in an accident due to no fault of your own? We can help. Schwebel, Getz & Sieben.
My doctor said I needed an MRI, but I did not want to get into a tube. Then I found out St. Luke's Center for Diagnostic Imaging has an open-sided MRI that has more room and is way more comfortable. That I could do. And my doctor got accurate answers to get me back where I need to be. If you need an MRI, don't put it off. I chose CDI, the only high-field open MRI in the area. At CDI, they specialize in answers.
Unlock a summer of possibilities in a new Chevy. Expand your options and your perspective. Find your next adventure in a new Chevy.
Make no monthly payments for the rest of the summer on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, get 2.49% financing for 72 months and get $2,000 cash allowance.
We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense.
Ask J3 Insurance in Duluth if auto owners make sense for you.
If it's important to our nation,
the country is facing yet another unprecedented crisis.
It's on Face the Nation, making politics make sense. The why behind the biggest stories. Face the Nation on CBS.
Gail King, Anthony Mason, and Tony DeCoppel, weekday mornings on CBS.
Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, that air quality alert lingers for most of our region. Just like at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight, we see most of Minnesota covered by the air quality alert, and right now all of Wisconsin. That should stay in effect through early Thursday morning. We're hoping by 6 o'clock in the morning it'll be lifted for Minnesotans, and there's a slight chance now sometime tomorrow things may ease up for Wisconsin, but until then, of course, folks with breathing troubles, be cautious, take it easy. And we're wishing the best for you. Of course, we could either use a wind shift again to chase away the smoke or a good soaking rain. The wind shift will likely happen before the soaking rain, but there is a slight chance of rain tomorrow, which we'll talk about here after a quick look at our current conditions. These come in from the airport in Duluth. It's 58 degrees, 72% for the relative humidity, easterly wind 8 miles per hour. 30.19 inches in mercury. That's where the air barometric pressure is sitting. It's on the higher side at the surface, but up aloft, the clouds from two lows combined with that smoke is keeping it pretty dark out there as far as seeing any sunshine goes during the daylight hours. First of all, let's talk about current temperatures. We're running a range of 50 to 57 in the Upper Peninsula. Wisconsin's rolling anywhere from 49 in Ashland to 61 in Superior. And for our friends in Minnesota, we have some 50s up the North Shore and some 60s along the Mesabi Range. And towards International Falls and Orr, mid-60s there. I think a lot of us will fall into the 50s as our night goes on. And as our night goes on, after midnight especially, there's at least a slight chance this approaching low-pressure system from Montana, which is pushing very light showers into western Minnesota, will start to cross our paths through the rest of the region here and bring us what we need. And tomorrow, the chance gets better, especially in the afternoon and evening as that low works through the area. By Thursday noon, totals may look like this, and like I've been saying, they're not looking overly impressive, but there are a few pockets where interesting things could happen, like up in International Falls, where this latest run of the model says maybe a ½ inch, and we get around 1/3 of an inch towards Grand Marais and 1/3 of an inch around the Ironwood region too, down through the southern parts of Gogebic County. But for many of the other towns in our area, if we manage to go towards 1/10 and run towards 1/4 of an inch, we're going to be doing pretty well. And let's hope this pays off, if not just this, even more, because it's going to be a relatively dry week ahead. And after this cool down we've had today and still lasting through tomorrow, warmer weather's coming back for the weekend, and we'll be up there close to 90 once again. So into the forecast. Tonight in Minnesota, mostly cloudy with a slight shower chance. Low temps will be as cool as 50 towards Hibbing and Chisholm and Nashwauk and Keewatin, and probably Buell too, to as warm as 60 around Park Point here in the Duluth area. Into Wisconsin and Michigan, the range of low temps should run from 48 in the Upper Peninsula. So in Wakefield, you get 48 to wake up to. And it could be as warm as 53 in Superior. Again, mostly cloudy with a shower chance. It may be a slight one, but boy, we're grasping at straws right now. Tomorrow, 50% afternoon and evening shower and storm chance. Wisconsin, Michigan, high 75 to 80, near normal. Minnesota numbers 74 to 80 inland, 66 to 70 by the lake, 50% storm chance, which winds down to a 30% chance on Thursday morning. And then it gets sunnier and warmer. Kristen, the weekend could be up in the upper 80s once again. Like I mentioned earlier here, I just don't have the heart to say 90 right now. And most models do indicate 88 to 89 like I have here on this list.
Yeah.
But farther away from the lake, yeah, another round of 90s possible. Great news for those who love summer-style heat. Yeah. For those of us without AC, I'm in that club. Time to sit in the basement with a box fan.
Well, that's true. You know, it's funny how just a few digits can totally change your perception.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's perception. 89's a lot cooler than 90.
It sure is.
That's 99's better than $10.
Agreed. Thanks, Dave. The Superior City Council voted to right an historic wrong during its meeting tonight. The councilors voted to return native burial sites on Wisconsin Point to the Fond du Lac Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. In 1918, the U.S. Steel Company exhumed almost 200 Ojibwe graves to make room for a new dock. They moved the bodies to 29 plots next to a cemetery on the northern bank of the Nemadji River. Tonight's vote is the first step in transferring the land back to the people who originally called it home.
It's important that these burial grounds are under the care, the management, and the oversight of Ojibwe people. It's their relatives, and they can best make those decisions.
The plan still has a ways to go, including state and federal approval. If it goes through, the land containing the mass grave would transfer into federal trust, and the burial ground on Wisconsin Point would transfer to the Fond du Lac Band, which would have stewardship of both. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, the game for all the marbles is coming to an end. We'll be live from Milwaukee next.
This show is about connection. Not even 2020 and socially distancing ourselves are going to get in the way of that.
The Kelly Clarkson Show on CBS 3.
Flying from the big city can be stressful with traffic, parking fees, busy concourses, and security lines, and that long drive home. At Range Regional Airport, we take the stress out of flying. We're close to home with free parking, short lines, comfortable lounge, and quick access through security. Take the stress out of flying. Fly Range Regional Airport, Hibbing.
This is the internet that keeps the TV streaming, the meetings zooming, the playlist flowing, and the doorbell showing
anybody home?
Who's coming and going. This is the internet that powers the workout, that does the homework, that makes the lights work, that makes for light work, and makes...
Don't forget to pick up Charlie.
...your life work. This is the internet that keeps it all connected and has hundreds of people who ensure it's protected.
Nice try, hackers.
This is the internet voted best because it's extreme, nothing less.
Funerals can be emotionally devastating for a family to go through. Besides the sorrow, loved ones are left with the high cost of arranging a funeral. Funeral Advantage was formed to help protect your family when they need it most. It pays your loved ones up to $20,000 immediately for funeral and any other expenses.
It's a good feeling to know that my family will be taken care of if anything happens to me.
Funerals can easily cost $9,000 or more, but government benefits pay only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the rest.
It's so easy. Just answer a few simple health questions.
This is so affordable, even for someone like me who's on a fixed income.
If you're 40 to 85, get information on how to protect your family. Funeral Advantage is something we all need. There's no risk or obligation. Call now.
Get the facts about how easy it is to protect your family. There's no risk or obligation. Don't wait. Call the number on your screen now.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Bolins.
And I'm Ann Nolette.
And we're Advanced Surgical Associates of Northern Minnesota. As the most experienced robotic team in the Northland, we wanted to provide an alternative to the traditional surgical practices that the hospitals offer.
Robotic-assisted surgery allows more complex surgeries through small incisions with lower chances of infection.
We provide individualized and personalized care so you can have a shorter hospital stay, experience less pain, and recover quicker.
You can learn more online at mnsurgery.com or by giving us a call today.
Every day during your birthday month, you can receive up to $30 in club cash.
Coming up Wednesday on CBS3 this morning, live tips from financial experts in our weekly Eye on Money.
And the hazy and cloudy skies continue with us on Wednesday, as well as the chance for some rain.
So make sure to wake up with us starting at 5 a.m.
Gayle King, Anthony Mason, and Tony DeCopel. Weekday mornings on CBS.
We are getting down to the wire in this Bucks game tonight, and our very own Alexis Bass joins us live now from the Deer District for Game 6. Alexis, this is exactly what people hope for.
Yeah, this was absolutely Milwaukee exceeded the expectations. I mean, it's Milwaukee madness. That's what I just keep saying. And actually, right before this, just touching like in the bathroom, the fans were cheering so loud that the sinks were just running. So it's absolutely crazy. And as I mentioned earlier, they shut down the gates to my right because so many fans were coming in. And currently, the game is a 6-point game. But I will go ahead and talk about the first and second quarter. So needless to say, it was a bit of a different narrative in the second quarter. The Bucks usually thrive right before the bell. Bucks were down by 21-4 when the Suns went on a run. Holiday struggled from the field. He was just 1 in 11. Bucks were out of character with their handful of turnovers, and from behind the arc, they were underproducing at 17%. Just as much as the fans have not given up their presence outside of Pfizer, inside the Bucks were channeling that same energy. We also know that most games in the series aren't over until they're over, just as the last game in the Sunshine Valley did not end up into the last play that Giannis had on that beautiful dunk. And so we expect the same thing tonight. However, I just get reports that it is now a 4-point game. And so we are just holding on to our hopes here for Bucks in 6. And Kristen, we will continue to send back all the excitement to you guys back in Duluth.
Yeah, it is a nail biter for sure. I know we're all anxiously waiting to see what's going to happen here, so we'll check in with you again. Thanks. Well, Samantha is here with a look at sports. You know, obviously a lot of people have their eyes on the Bucks, but there is more happening.
Yes, definitely. Duluth FC actually had a playoff game tonight for the first time since 2018, so we have those highlights next.
Eye on Mining is brought to you by Range Regional Airport. Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
Menards has everything for your home projects, inside and out. Update your doors with our great selection of quick-set levers, lock sets, and deadbolts. Find over 100 styles and 6 finish options to complement any door in your home. Save 11% on all quick-set interior and exterior lock sets. Add the final look to your outdoor landscaping with Master Gardener Lawn Edging. All lawn edging is 11% off now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Little child, we're in a
If you're worried about spoiling your dinner with any of our dollar sliders from 2 to 5 p.m. at Arby's, do what I do. Order a dollar shake to take your mind off it. Arby's, we have the meat.
Be smart. Be active. Be confident. Vision Pro Optical is here for you, specializing in eye exams, glasses, contacts, and billing your insurance. Serving the Northland for more than 30 years with you as our focus. Visit visionprooptical.com for hours and location details. Vision Pro Optical. Be and be seen.
Sports are my passion and the love of my life. And when you watch a sportscast, the biggest compliment that I get is that you seem so excited about what you're talking about. And that's not an act for me. Who doesn't want to see someone, deliver their news in a fun way? So if you love it, I love it. You're gonna see the authenticity that I think I bring.
Watch Sports with Kelly Hinseth, weeknights on Live Local, CBS3.
Is being challenged by DFL.
The race is on. Learn how Berkey 2021
is it safe to be ice fishing on Lake Superior?
New funding is bringing more mental health resources.
Dave Anderson.
How a popular new recreational area is allowed.
Hear how one vaccination clinic in West Duluth is focusing
into the COVID-19 pandemic, and food insecurity is still
new year, new ownership.
To stay up to date with the news and weather that impacts you and your community, join us weekdays for CBS3 Live at 5.
We have a structure fire with injuries on Highway
13. Did you know your friends and neighbors volunteer to provide emergency services? They are serving many communities and need your help. Challenge yourself. Be part of the team. Be somebody.
Playoff soccer was in Duluth as Duluth FC took on Carpathia FC in the NPSL quarterfinals. In the 21st minute, Brendan Daly gets his fingers on a Carpathia corner kick. Daly keeps the score even at 0. 6 minutes later, a blue-green corner kick, and the captain, Jake Starling, bashes it in to put Duluth up 1-0. Golden Boot winner Sidney Warden put his hat in the ring as he puts the Blue-Greens up 2-0 right before halftime. The match went the distance with extra time being a factor. The Blue-Greens lost 5-4 in penalty kicks after all was said and done. The Bucks may have the spotlight today, but the Brewers did host the Royals at American Family Field. Bottom of the second, Manny Pena, the Pineapple, smacks one into left field to drive in 2, putting the Brewers up 2-1. Top of 4, Jorge Soler hits a mammoth blast off the scoreboard, tying the game at 2. Hunter Strickland pitching in the top of the 7th when Ryan O'Hearn comes off the bench and blasts another off the scoreboard, 4-2 Royals. Brewers end up falling 5-2. They return tomorrow at 1:10. The Twins playing another road game in Chicago, taking on the White Sox. After splitting yesterday's doubleheader, the Twins look for a solid bounce-back win over the White Sox in Chicago. Josh Donaldson, Max Kepler, and Jorge Blanco all contributed a bargain of solo home runs. Simmons also had a 2-run single. Young starter Bailey Ober 5 innings with 4 runs scored, 3 of which were earned by the White Sox. As Alexis mentioned, the Bucks title game is nearing the end And now the score is 98-92, Bucks lead. So super exciting. We will continue to keep you updated as much as possible as the game comes to a close on CBS3 websites and social media accounts. That's going to do it for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
Hi, folks. Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate copays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month. Look, with the uncertainty of the virus and vaccines, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Here's the bottom line. Call to get significant benefits at no additional cost and see if your zip code has coverage with the Give Back benefit. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare Coverage Helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.
Call 1-800-916-5591. That's 1-800-916-5591 now.
We pick up the phone because it's ringing. Hello, this is Sam. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Holden Insurance Agency if auto owners make sense for you.
If it's important to our nation,
the country is facing yet another unprecedented crisis.
It's on Face the Nation, making politics make sense. The why behind the biggest stories. Face the Nation on CBS.
Every second of every day, it happens. Something big, something worth talking about. News happens, and you can't wait for it. You need to be constantly digging, asking, hunting, wanting more truth. More real answers. More who, what, where, when, and why. And it's about you. It's about now. It's about wherever, whenever. At Live Local CBS 3, it's about the news. Your neighborhood news.
The Royal Enfield Bullet was designed in 1955 and not updated until 2008. It takes an experienced hand to keep one running. I've ridden in the rain and the snow, but prefer not to. That's why motorcycles and meteorology go together so well. It also takes an experienced hand to make an accurate riding forecast. As our region's longest-serving meteorologist, I think I have the touch needed to get it right.
Watch Dave Anderson weeknights at 5, 6, and 10.
Tonight, a local fair gave people a sneak preview before the fun begins, and the bonus, it was free. The Head of the Lakes Fair takes place annually in Superior, and while opening day is tomorrow, organizers wanted to offer people a chance to see what's in store for this year. On the agenda, a magic show and hypnotist, a family farm day, barrel racing, and of course, fair rides and food. The fair runs tomorrow through Sunday. Ticket prices and event schedules can be found on the fair's Facebook page. And Dave, I guess for folks heading out to the fair, they better get a little fan or something. It's going to be pretty warm, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty warm, but boy, that fair's been fun for decades.
Yeah.
My grandfather told me that, he always had this tattoo on his arm that I thought he got in the Navy in World War II. Turns out he got it at the Superior Fair in 1940. Yeah.
Wow.
Just before he married my grandmother. She was tickled pink to have a tattooed guy, I guess. So it wasn't a Navy Seabees tattoo. It was something you get over in Superior. I don't know if they have any tattoo parlors there anymore, but like you mentioned, it will be warm and sweaty, and folks will be showing off their tats, I believe. Let's talk about the weather coming up here. And first, it's going to be a bit hazy as well. Air quality alert through Thursday morning, especially for Minnesota and maybe Wisconsin as well. Eyeing up our extended forecast, is there a big soaking rain coming to wash clean our sky? I don't really think so, though we do have a chance for some precip, especially Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. 30 to 50% chance for showers and thunderstorms, and rain totals in general might run 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. We're 2 inches shy, 2.5 inches shy for July, but we'll take every little dribble we can get. Then higher pressure settles in again. and clears the sky by Friday, and then starts to pull in southern winds to the region. That may clear the sky, but the price we pay, just like last weekend, will be high temps in the upper 80s here in the Twin Ports, maybe getting into the lower 90s farther inland, and it looks like we'll ride out that wave all the way through Tuesday. So high temps back into the range of 83 to 89. Overnight low temps running about 58 to 62 degrees, but as always, weather in our part of the world is not permanent. And maybe by next Wednesday, we'll start to cool down, just like we are right now. Tomorrow will be one of those cooler days, so enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, we sure will. Always a good mix around here. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.